So today we're going to be making paella. So this is one of the signature dishes of Scapos restaurant, right? So it's something that one of the first few dishes that I've learned to cook when I was starting, and this is something that I really like, and I think I've devoted a lot of time to getting to cook this really. So there's three things to a paella, in my opinion. Again, if there's any Spanish people there or paella police, please don't bash me because this is how I make it. Kasi I encounter that every time you make something and taste is slightly subjective and people don't understand that. So three things to a paella. Number one, it's important to have a really good sofrito. Now, a sofrito is a combination between a red bell pepper and your tomatoes, right? So this is the base, and this will give the depth of flavor to your paella. So in my sofrito, I put white onions, some chopped tomatoes, and some bell peppers. Now, a bit of technique for the bell peppers is that I actually roast it over charcoal until it's fully black, and then we scrape off the burnt part and then soften and chop it up so it becomes soft. And it gives that nice smoky flavor to your sofrito. Next thing is the rice. Now, we cannot use jasmine rice, basmati rice, or other rice for paella. There's paella, usually we use rice that are like round. We use short grain rice that is very sturdy and can really handle a lot of moisture, just because it needs to be still al dente for we cook it for a long time, right? Chef, can we use risotto rice? I wouldn't advise it, but yes, you can. I mean, you can try to experiment with that. Again, cooking is being creative, right? So you can just pretty much mix and match whatever you want, and whatever works for you, then it's good. But this is how I would advise you to do it. Okay, so the sofrito is important. The rice, and of course, the stock. Now I know all CCA students. That's one of your first subjects, right?
Yeah.
BSS, basic soup stock and stock.
This is which everyone hates. It's one of the toughest because you need a lot of patience and.
Yes. That's the base of everything. Just a bit of trivia. Whenever I hire chefs for my hotels, what I do is I ask them to make a stock. I don't even interview them that much, right?
Yeah.
But I ask them to make a stock because if you don't know how to make a stock, then how are you expecting to make those foams and those extremely advanced things that we need to do, right? I'm just heating up some corn oil. Now, why do I use corn oil? Because corn oil is very bland in flavor, right? So you don't want to. I would prefer not to put olive oil just because when you overheat olive oil, it becomes bitter, right? So I prefer to use an oil that is bland in flavor and has a high smoking point. I'm just gonna put some white onions. So you can use red onions or white onions, whatever you prefer. I like white onions, but again, red onions gives a different flavor profile. Right? So when you cook paella or when you cook the sofrito, make sure you use it at low to medium heat because you want that pasty kind of like texture happening. We're sweating the onions, and when it's soft, then we add our tomatoes.
Chef Jasper also says hi to you. He says maybe 2005 or graduated 2004, one year lower than us. So he's one of our faculty members right now, and he says hello. Okay, so what were you like as a student?
Pasaway. Ang number one was I asked Chef Greg Lindalon, Chef Minoy. I was the student that was the teacher wanted us to make, for example, a plain risotto. I would go to the other kitchen and get a funky, crazy ingredient and I'd put it, and I would get shit for it. But it's just that's how I do it. Other chefs are upset about me because I don't really follow the rules. I just go out of my rules. But it's important to learn the basics, right? Pero siguro medyo the only thing is when I was young, I was a bit too naive. I thought I could do everything. Everybody wants to get executive fast. So yeah, so I was pasaway. I was really pasaway, but I was very serious. I'm just adding tomatoes right now, right? You can use whatever tomatoes you want. You can use cherry tomato. The sweeter the tomato, the better. You can also use overripe tomatoes as well. That will give really, really good flavor and sweetness.
So you're saying you were pasaway. So, while you were in school, you didn't really follow the recipes. You were a bit like, I guess what you could say, you thought you knew it all.
Was
there a certain time, let's say after you graduated, or a moment in school where it was like a humble pie, where you had to learn the hard way, or kind of step down a bit and open your eyes to learning?
I'm cooking now the red bell pepper that we've pre-grilled over charcoal. I like cooking with it, so I'm just gonna add it to the peppers as well. For onions, you can cook half of that, so you can cook 100% that. So going back to your question there, the challenge is always remember, hindi lang ikaw ang magaling. You're not the only exceptional chef that you can find. There's a lot of chefs out there that is way better than you, or maybe as good as you. So you need to identify what makes you stand out. Also, another thing is arrogance. I think all chefs have egos, right? Pero opposite, to be honest with you, the only time my ego was taken down when I had to go to a restaurant here in Dubai, right? So, you know, you fall into that trap that you can do everything. Pero reality check is it's not really, the world doesn't really work like that. That's the whole scenario. Pero yun nga, the challenge is ang daming chef available right now. Everybody wants to get a promotion so fast, and nobody wants to take the effort and the time to actually learn the craft properly, and to grow properly. And that is what will separate successful chefs and trying to be successful.
What do you look for now when a chef comes for an interview besides, you know, chicken stock skills?
Attitude. Kasi attitude you cannot teach, and character you cannot teach, but skills you can implement into people. I mean, for me, humility is very important more than anything else. Kasi kung nasa-start pa lang yung chef tapos mayabang na, tapos mayabang ako. Mayabang din siya, di ba? I mean, I'm just saying that you know, attitude is very, very important for a chef. You know, you're willing to learn. Because, see, I'll tell you something. Here in Dubai, there's a lot of Filipino chefs as well who are very well experienced but did not go through proper culinary education. So, technically, you guys have an advantage. However, you have to show respect to these people who's been doing the craft for a very long time. So, yun lang. Attitude, and then, of course, someone who's really willing to learn stuff. That's it. I'm just adding the sweet smoked paprika. So this is not your typical paprika that you buy in the grocery. It has to be the Spanish sweet smoked paprika. It gives a really nice smoky flavor to your sofrito. Usually when you cook your paella, your sofrito, you can make it in advance. You can make it in a big batch. And then after that, you can just store it in your fridge. So every time you want to make a paella, you just scoop out the sofrito and then you can So now, so you can see how the sofrito is getting, the onions are soft, the tomatoes are starting to get really soft. Medyo, we have to cook it for maybe 5-6 minutes more, and then we can set it aside so we can start a few questions. Chef John, pwede ba namin gamitin yung pan at home if you want to make paellas? Of course, you don't really have to have a paellera to cook paella. My advice now, if you want to cook paella, try not to use the non-stick pan because it's going to be really difficult to make that sokara. You know, that little bit burnt crust under the paella baso. So ano bang kabenta ng non-stick? Full stick. Full stick pan. Okay. Right. So, okay na siya. So now you have your sofrito. Okay. Chef, can you put salt? Can you put pepper? Yes, you can do that. I prefer not to season it yet. I prefer to season it later once I start to make the paella. Again, this is the base of your paella. Remember, the sofrito, the rice, and the stock. So now we have our sofrito done. Lagyan na natin ng konting salt. Okay. You can use any kind of salt. I would prefer sea salt. If you don't have, you can use red salt like this. Pepper. We need to say thank you to Sajan. Sajan is my restaurant manager here. Sajan, show your picture. Sajan is my assistant cameraman for today.
So, I have a question. What is it like working with Chef John?
Sajan, I'll give you. Make sure you say the answer.
See, I'm working with Chef John. I got a lot of opportunity in regards to like doing videos and then the pictures which I never got this opportunity earlier. So I'm very thankful of him actually.
I'm Brian. Don't worry, I cook for him every day. That's crazy. Yeah, sorry, quick one lang. So free to take care. We're setting it aside. I never knew that Chef Mix was actually working for Hilton also. In Double Tree. That's really, really cool.
Yeah. It's a small industry now. No matter where you are, someone's doing something quite creative. And I guess for you, like, how do you stay creative?
I started my YouTube channel for like stuff that you can prepare at home. Yeah, just even getting busy. We're just making like videos and everything. Nobody really knows what's going to happen. So, okay. Now, the pan is ready. Chef, hindi mo hinugasan yung pan. Okay lang yun. Mas masarap kasi nandiyan yung lasa mo sa food. So, nandiyan yung pan. So, what we do is, now I put my olive oil. Because I'm not going to use high heat, right? So, I put a little of olive oil. Little bit, pero ang dami parang fried. Little of olive oil. Now, I'm going to put some lamb chorizo. Okay? You don't have to put lamb chorizo, you can put pork chorizo if you want. Back in the Philippines, it's better. Personally, but here in Dubai, I would recommend that you guys use your lamb chorizo. Put a little bit of lamb chorizo. What we're doing is we're rendering the fat of the chorizo. Okay?
How do you feel about this Filipino-inspired paellas like tinola, sinigang paella?
Yeah, why not? I've never tried it, but why not, right?
Yeah.
I have here dried chipotle chilies, yeah, just to give a bit more smoky flavor to your paella. Put a little bit of that. We're just rendering the fat of the chorizo, okay? Nakita mo, Chef, ang oily naman ng paella mo, bakit ganyan? It's supposed, in my opinion, it's supposed to be like this because you want your rice to be coated with oil, right? You don't want it to be like really soggy and sticky. It has to be still al dente and breaks apart.
Yeah.
Just rendering the fat of the tofu. Now I have some fresh chopped garlic. I'm just gonna add fresh chopped garlic. Do you have any questions from the Instagram? Everybody's just watching.
Just watching. Seems like people are hungry here. Emojis coming down.
I think they're getting hungry with all the
Come here now and then join us. Exclusive. So we're actually a little bit of I can plug a little bit about the hotel, right?
Yeah, of course.
So currently we are located in Alcim. This is one of the first areas to go. This is one of the signature dishes of scaffold. Okay. Going back, pakita ko muna. So we have our bomba rice. Okay. Bomba rice. Now we put our rice down on the paella. Okay. Chef, how much rice? 1 cup is more than enough. Always remember your rice becomes bigger, right? Sometimes it even doubles up in size. Okay? So konti lang, huwag masyadong dami. So what you do is you keep on cooking it like this. And make sure that you coat every granule of rice with the oil and the fat from the lamb chorizo. It's very important to do that. Okay? I'm still cooking it over low to medium heat. A little bit more.
You don't need to wash that rice, right?
No. This one comes already washed. Our Spanish water. Siguro yung mga ibang chef, oh my God, nagluluto ng paella, pero nasan yung saffron? Do not forget it, of course. Saffron is life, right? Saffron. So, okay, yung mga, for sure the CCA students know where saffron is coming from, right? For sure, may subject sila na ingredients, right?
Product ID.
Product ID, yes. Yes, product ID. So saffron, for those who don't know, it comes from a flower. It comes from an orchid, right? So every orchid flower has 3 to 4 stems of saffron in it. That's why it's very expensive. So it's really handpicked. Kasubha is fake saffron, so don't think it's not saffron.
Yeah.
It has to be some specific orchid, yeah?
Sorry if I keep on looking kasi we're actually doing the live edition while we have guests in the hotel. So medyo relaxed environment. Just say.
Chef, how did you end up in Dubai again?
I ended up in Dubai because I think Philippines was too small for me. I felt that I had to do something better. I wanted to make a difference, and I wanted to prove myself that I could do it. Philippines was becoming a comfort zone for me already. So I had to do something bigger. Okay, saffron, maybe half a gram, 1 gram. Depends how rich you are. If you're rich, put the whole box of saffron inside. Okay. Good. Now, saffron, mix it up a bit. Okay, now, once nahalo na natin siya, remember the sofrito that we made? So I'm just gonna put like 2 to 3 spoons of the sofrito just to give it the color and the base of your paella. Okay, let's make it 4. I have a little bit of rosemary. We'll put the tips of the rosemary, just to give it more flavor. Okay. After that, we have our stock. Okay. Now this is shellfish stock. So yung students of PSS, you know, PSS ba? Basic soup stock.
Soup stocks and sauces.
Soup stocks and sauces subject. You know how to make your stock. I usually don't put mirepoix in my stock. I keep it really, really plain and simple. See, the problem nowadays as well, a lot of chefs put a lot of ingredients on your plate that you don't know what you're eating anymore. So it's very important that you focus on 3 or 4 major ingredients in your dish so that you don't confuse whoever's eating it. So what I do with my shellfish stock is just basically shells of lobsters and shrimp heads. I roast them in the oven for 20 minutes, dry heat at 150 to 170 degrees. Sometimes 2 hours if I want really a deep caramelized flavor. And then I just boil it in water. So if my shells is almost like 1 kilo, I also put around 2 liters of water. And then I just boil it. So it's super plain and super simple. Okay? Now we're gonna add our soup stock here again at low heat. Okay? How much is a paella in the Philippines now? Who makes the best paella in the Philippines now? I don't know.
Okay. Immediately become a chef. It's a full path of it. And some of them are very naive and they go, we'll start a restaurant right away, and then they fail.
Yeah, maybe it's a good thing that they fail because it's a learning lesson, right? I also learned, right? Through failure, that's the only time you learn.
So how did you pick up after your first venture into Cusinera? Did you just work right away or did you take time off?
Well, see, again, I think I speak for every chef, most likely, right? I mean, I have a lot of friends who are also students of CCA before, like Chef Kim Pudia and Chef Jake Prieto. They have a really successful restaurant in Australia, right? Lolo and Lola's, right?
I'm trying to get them on live, but
they're really good. They're really good. You know, both of them. I really adore the couple. I've known them since before, and they've really pushed through. And there's lots of struggles opening your own restaurant, and then I'm really glad that they really done a lot of things together. So again, for every chef who's really serious about this craft, when you close your restaurant, it's like taking the love of your life.
Yeah,
it's really tough because we chefs, I think, I don't know if I speak for everybody. Every time we cook a dish, a part of us actually goes to the dish. That's why you think it's really tasty, it's really good. Now, what we do is we always also make sure that the food is good. Other people don't understand how much effort we put in whatever, especially the passionate.
Yeah.
So I took up there. I'm just putting now the rice is half cooked. Now I'm putting now the fresh seafood, right? So I'm just putting now the fresh seafood. So I have here some shells, some mussels, some clams. Chef, do I need to get imported mussels or lobsters? I have one rule. Wherever you are or wherever region you are, use the local foods. Why? Because it will always taste better. It doesn't mean that if you're in the States, of course, well, I'm a big fan of Filipino prawns, right? Because it's really tasty. However, like here in Dubai, we have local clams, right? Why do I need to import clams from a different part of the world? If you know, they will go to shipment, they will go to the airplane, tapos syempre yung humidity na pabago, yung air pressure, it will really change everything. Now, I'm a strong believer of using the ingredients that you have in front of you and then turning it into something.
I think one of the big changes that have happened during this quarantine is that people are really buying direct from the farms or
Yes.
direct from agripreneurs rather than going to the grocery, because it's really making use of what you have. If you can't get things from, let's say, Paris or China or a different country, it's making the most of the ingredients that are available to you, and it does help a lot of the community as well.
Yes.
So you notice, like here, bananas, mangoes, or pumpkin is quite cheap. And you don't have to spend so much to eat well, I believe.
Yes, true. Pero the only thing is you need to know how to cook, right? So mag-ibang na kayo sa sisi.
Cuisine is great with strong fundamentals, knowing your basics while promoting your heritage, flying your flag. Well done.
Okay, quick one. I'll show you now the sokra. Now the sokra is slowly developing. May stop on the channel. Can you see that? Yeah. So I'm just gonna open up a bit. You can see the sokra developing. See it here? So you want that because that's the best part for me. You have to scrape it off of it. How would I really cook paella if it was up to my serves and I had everything? I would cook it over fire. I really like cooking over fire. I am not a big fan of inductions and gas ranges. Back in my restaurant, we only had charcoal. So we just cook everything with charcoal. Even if boiling broccoli or whatever, we put the pot or charcoal. It requires a special technique to cook only with charcoal because you need to measure the amount of fire and amount of flame. Pero I'm a big fan of the old school way of doing it. So malapit na to. So this is going to take maybe 7 to 10 minutes more, and then we're done, and then we can start eating. We can start eating, and you guys can watch us eat. So
Watch. How is it going?
almost done. It's almost done. Just check it. It's almost done. Yeah, it's almost done. So now, medyo patapos na siya. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna put my lemon wedges on the spices. Finish it with a little bit of oil. So, of course, a bit of chopped parsley. For somebody's drooling over there.
I am.
Seven clams, also a bit of prawns. Chef, ba't hindi mo tinanggal yung shell ng prawns? Mas masarap kasi. It seems like making stock, right? The flavor is from the bone. So if you have the shells will give you enough flavor.
Yeah.
Okay. One for the food.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
this is for you. I'm gonna send it through delivery. So I hope you.
good.